Well, more than $2.2 million is going to domestic violence victims in Idaho. Acting U.S. Attorney Rafael Gonzalez says the millions of dollars in grants are part of more than $476 million given out nationwide by the U.S. Office of Violence Against Women. Our Tristan Lewis joins us in studio now with more on the recipients, and one of them, Tristan, is located right here in the Treasure Valley, right?
Yeah, so the money was given out by the OVW and went to 4 different Idaho recipients: the Bayham Crisis Center, the YWCA of Lewiston and Clarkston, the Coeur d'Alene Tribe, and the Idaho Coalition Against Sexual and Domestic Violence. The coalition feels this will be helpful in creating better access to marginalized survivors of sexual and domestic assault.
We really want to do what we can as an organization to change our culture so violence is no longer a common occurrence.
While staff at the Idaho Coalition Against Sexual and Domestic Violence may not be currently operating out of the Linen Building in downtown Boise because of COVID, their work around the community has not slowed down during the pandemic.
We're hearing concerns around the intensity and severity of violence that our community-based programs are seeing. We're hearing about concerns about increased gun sales and the connection between gun violence and domestic violence.
The Idaho Coalition reports since COVID-19 began, 13 out of 15 domestic violence-related deaths in Idaho have been by gun violence. Kelly Miller has been part of the coalition for 16 years, serving as executive director for nearly 10 of those years. She says concerns of domestic violence have also heightened with those who are experiencing isolation, economic stress, and in communities most impacted by discrimination.
Latinx, Indigenous, Black, trans and queer, people with disabilities, immigrants, all experience disproportionate impacts of violence, and it's connected to the history of our country of discrimination.
Miller says it's important for people to recognize what is happening around them, specifically those who do face discrimination.
And so it's not surprising that when we think about who in our community is most vulnerable, who's most underserved, and thinking about domestic and sexual violence, we need to really be paying attention to communities most impacted.
He is hopeful the 3 grants awarded to them by the U.S. Office of Violence Against Women will help people do just that. They are receiving the State Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault Coalition's grant, the Training and Technical Assistance Grant, and the Transitional Housing Assistance Grant. These 3 grants provide more funds for more resources and services for victims, trainings across the state, ways to house survivors, and a lot more.
I mean, my hope for the future is going to be that we all see who is actually in our community and pay close attention. We can create community safety together.
And again, the coalition feels the grants will be used to help address domestic violence, sexual assault across the state. And for more information about all 3 of these grants and other grants awarded, you can visit our website, ktvb.com. Shira?
Tristan, thanks. A great resource for those folks.